Hello and welcome to ThriveTracker. In this video, we'd like to talk through our click and conversions log, as well as the data that is being displayed in that log versus how that data is displayed across the rest of your ThriveTracker account. In order to go through this demonstration, we first need to get to the click and conversion log. From the dashboard here, we'll go to the left side menu to the very bottom at the tracking menu, and we'll select click and conversion log. On the screen now, you'll find that it's displaying the clicks for today, March 11th, 2019. You can toggle this date range anywhere back within the allowed date range, which would be 3 months back plus your current month. In this case, that would allow me to go December, January, February, and the current month, March. What you're seeing at the very top are the most recent clicks, and the clicks will get older as you go further down the page. Every click that is recorded by ThriveTracker is assigned a sub-ID value. You'll find that information here. Within this column, each of these clicks has its own unique sub-ID value, and then we record all of the information about that click within that same sub-ID. It's very important to note how this information is stored for each sub-ID, because that sub-ID value is going to help you access all the information gathered for that visitor in your campaign going forward. Let's say you wanted to see the full picture about what each of these clicks meant to your ThriveTracker campaigns. On the screen provided now, you'll notice there are only 8 columns. This obviously is not the full amount of information recorded for each sub-ID value. What we do instead is take that information and allow it to be exported via a CSV file. You'll find that by taking your mouse to the left, selecting Export to CSV, and then I would recommend selecting Export Now. You'll notice this process is very fast. Within that 5-second time, it will then provide me with a brand new CSV file with the information I've requested. All you'd have to do is select here, and the file would go ahead and download for you. I've already done this, and I'd like to pull it up for you now. On the screen in front of you, you'll find the same list of clicks that we were just looking at within the ThriveTracker interface. This, however, is that CSV file with all of the information we were just discussing being able to be shown. Column F, which is highlighted now, contains the sub-IDs that we were just discussing in terms of how important they are. But now, more importantly, this spreadsheet contains all available recorded data points for each one of these sub-IDs. As I go across the screen, I'd like you to notice just how many columns we are going through in this process. Thrive is actively recording dozens of data points and various custom variables, tracking tokens, and more to help you get the most out of each individual click you have bought or tracked with ThriveTracker. Now, we cannot display all of this information in one table within the ThriveTracker user interface. The reason being, that information is incredibly dense and, admittedly, very inefficient for us to store. What we do instead, not only for our benefit on the technology side, but for your benefit as a client, is help you access this information for the life of your account. Currently, this information would be referred to as raw form data. Raw form data has a limited lifespan in your account. However, aggregated metrics will exist for the entirety of your ThriveTracker account. That's right. Aggregated metrics will live in your account for the life of your time as a ThriveTracker client. Let's take a look for a moment at what that means exactly. If I go further across the page and start looking at these values here, you'll notice that we're looking at custom variables in this case. I'm going to pull up an example campaign for you where I'd like to show you what you might see there in other circumstances. Here is an example campaign in our demo account where I've taken you directly to the Other Variables tab within that campaign. You'll notice currently that this window is currently showcasing device type, but everything across this white bar here is reflecting what ThriveTracker will automatically gather data from for each individual click, regardless of which traffic source you're working with in this campaign. Where the traffic source comes into play, just like we saw on that spreadsheet just a moment ago, is the custom variable dropdown here at the far right. For this campaign specifically, the traffic source is Google AdWords. So we have a number of tracking macros specific to Google AdWords, which we can display for you here in this menu. I'd like to highlight a difference here on this page. What you're seeing for Hockey Buzz 9, Hockey Buzz 11, Hockey Buzz 10, those would be the way a legitimate website would be displayed, because we're looking at the site name custom variable powered by your Google AdWords. But I'd also like to talk for a moment about the placement macro that you see there at the top. This only shows when you're referring to a click that did not come through the traffic source specifically. Let me explain. If I go to General Information and Stats and I look at the URL specific to this campaign, clicking on that right now would register that same placement with brackets placeholder rather than the actual site name I may have come from if I were coming from Google AdWords. That's the difference when you're looking at these various menus and you see the placeholder still being present. It's because that click came directly to the campaign URL rather than starting with the traffic source. Now, everything we've talked about thus far has been in reference to clicks. Well, here in the click log, you can also go through and check out your conversions. So now here on the screen, we're looking at raw form data for the conversion side. You'll notice within the display, again, we're still looking at March 11th, 2019. You have 3 more options within these columns. There's revenue, transaction ID, and linked ID. Revenue is the amount of revenue being reported by postback. That report may come from a postback pixel, an advertiser, or an affiliate network. Meanwhile, the transaction ID, or also sometimes noted as the order ID, is what's most commonly used in upsell tracking. The linked ID, meanwhile, is used specifically for method 2 of ThriveTracker's upsell tracking, where the upsell tracks as its own individual offer and not an extension of the original offer. This linked ID reflects the corresponding sub-ID value from the step 1 conversion to help match them up. Now, if you wanted to see the full raw form data set of your conversions, just the same as we did with clicks earlier, the same process applies. You'll take your mouse over to the left, select Export to CSV, and follow the prompts as they are provided. What's most important about this information is that when there is a discrepancy with that advertiser or with that affiliate network, you can provide them with these CSVs to showcase exactly what you tracked. This is incredibly valuable for our clients, something they have applauded us for providing, and we continue to do so because of what it allows our clients to do. Now, I mentioned earlier, all of this is powered by raw form data, and the aggregated metrics, which again live in your account for the life of your account, those are showcased in the other menus around ThriveTracker. You would find them in the campaigns menu and within each individual campaign in this menu. You would find them in offers. You would find them in landing pages. You would find them in campaign rotations, traffic sources, and affiliate networks. And you would also find them in the day parting reports portion of the Advanced Reports Center. To close this out, what's most important about this video and what we're showcasing for you is how much data ThriveTracker is gathering for each of your clicks. That data is then displayed and provided to you in a number of ways. We're making sure to provide you with the raw form data, the most dense version of everything we're tracking for you, so that you can keep it for your records. And then we're providing you with aggregated metrics, allowing you to track everything you've done for the life of your account. If you still have any questions about raw form data, aggregated metrics, or anything else, I really encourage you to reach out to our support team and speak with them about your question and any other curiosities within ThriveTracker. Our team is on standby, and we're excited to work with you.